This is the Engage Your Destiny podcast, where your destiny is our mission. Serving our active military, veterans, and families. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Engage Your Destiny podcast. I'm Ben Peterson, blessed to be the founder and CEO of Engage Your Destiny. And we have an incredible episode for you today telling the story of Anna Weisel. Anna is the first soldier who we trained and ministered to at Fort Campbell, who has gone through our program for multiple years. And now she is an employee and a champion of Engage Your Destiny, where now she is taking her story and her journey and her giftings and ministering to other soldiers. Anna has a survivor story, and I can't wait to get into it with you today. Engage Your Destiny is 100% donor funded. And so your donations are going directly towards supporting soldiers like Anna. And Engage Your Destiny is rapidly expanding. We are currently ministering on 5 active duty bases across the military, and we just launched our first location in the United States Navy. So I ask you to support, to run with us, to be strong with us, and to pray for us as we are ministering to the defenders of freedom. Now, let's get into the story. Anna, welcome, girl.
Hi, Ben. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Me too.
I am so glad that we're doing this. We tried to make it work once, and now we're making it work today.
Finally, yeah.
Finally. All right, I'm going to get into your bio here and the incredible things that you've achieved already at such a young age. So your name's Anna Weisel. You were born in Winston-Salem. Yes. You have an older brother. You joined the Army at 19 as a field artillery fire direction controller.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. You were and are a woman in combat arms.
Yes.
Which there are very few.
Yes.
You have been in 7 years and 7 months, and at the time of this recording, you get out of the military tomorrow.
Correct. It's
Wow.
my last day in the military.
What a way to finish and cap it off. You attained the rank of Staff Sergeant.
I did.
In 7 years, which is incredible. You're a graduate of American Military University. You deployed to Europe, serving in over 8 countries, and you're a survivor.
I am.
You have a survivor story.
I do.
Which we're going to get into.
Awesome.
So this is a special day because, you start something. I remember when we first started at Fort Campbell, we were coming out of this big event down in Daytona. We'd reached all these veterans, and, the ministry was like bankrupt, which we're now not anymore. Praise God. And we were just in this really tough space, and we started doing, the briefings and the discipleship and the ministry at Fort Campbell. And then you came along. Mm-hmm. So I want to get into, your whole backstory, but how did you first get, let me take that again. How did you first get introduced to Engage Your Destiny? What was your first experience?
So when I got to Fort Campbell, I was coming back from a 2-year tour in Korea.
Wow.
So I was very alone. I didn't know anybody here. I had no family here.
Yeah.
And through that, I had seen Sylvester's MRT story.
Yeah. Now let's break that down. So Sylvester has been a part of Engage Your Destiny for years. He's a former Army first sergeant, big, bold brother from the South.
Big puppy dog for God.
Big puppy dog for God, but
Yeah.
did 5 tours.
Yeah.
And he gives, a briefing on how to be resilient and how to work through your emotions.
Yeah.
And that was your first experience.
Yes.
So take me through what that briefing was like for you.
So I remember the chapel being warm. I remember walking in with all these people and I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I felt like it was another brief from the Army, and then I heard him talking, and I heard how passionate he was about what he did. And hearing his story when he gave the MRT brief, the resilience training, and then he said if anybody wants to stay for the volunteer portion, I think I was 1 in 4 people that stayed.
Wow.
And I just...
How many people were in the room?
I don't know, probably 40, 45.
45 people.
Yeah.
And how many stayed?
About 4.
4
as I
people.
recall. Yeah.
So 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was one of them, and here I am.
And why'd you stay?
I stayed because I felt like him being a veteran, it was more personal.
Yeah.
Connecting with us than a civilian. Nothing against civilians, but they don't go through the same things that we go through being active duty.
Yeah.
And hearing his story and hearing his testimony was just really inspiring.
Wow.
So I decided to come that Friday night.
Yeah. So you stick around after,
Mm-hmm.
and he starts to kind of open up
Mm-hmm.
about his story and about his faith.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you hear as he was talking about his faith?
I heard an incredible story.
Yeah.
I heard him just wowed at how God worked in his life.
Yeah.
I heard the inspiration behind his voice. I heard that was his passion, was connecting with people and soldiers and ministering and being where God needed him to be at that moment. And I think he was there partly for me, but I think partly for himself too.
Totally. Where were you at with God in this whole journey?
I was far from God.
Yeah.
And I have a favorite saying, and it's when God feels far away, it's not because God moved.
Ah.
It's because
Oh,
we
okay.
moved.
All right. So this is too good. If I feel far from God,
Yeah.
say it again. It's too good.
When God feels far away, just remember that God is not the one who moved.
God is not the one who moved.
Yeah.
And so
I had moved from God. God stays the same. God's sovereign. He remains the same through everything. So if you feel far from God, it's not God moving. So I came back broken. My parents had separated from a 30-year marriage when I was in Korea.
Wow.
So when I came home, I was processing. I was by myself. I didn't have any support system. So walking into this was like the revive that I needed for my faith.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get back into that story because I wanted to just kind of just tease it a little bit.
Okay.
Because of what obviously God has done in your life is miraculous. But let's wind back to the beginning.
Okay.
So born in Winston-Salem,
Yes.
but grew up in Virginia.
Yes.
Tell me about your mom and your dad. What's their history?
So my mom met my dad through University of Florida. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
My mom married my dad for his faith. They met at a Young Life ceremony,
No way.
ironically.
Wow.
Yeah. So my dad was in the Army. He had served 4 years as a captain. He'd been overseas to Egypt and all those places. And when 9/11 happened, he was over in Egypt. And I remember my mom going through that. She had just lost her mom, and her husband was away overseas, and she was raising me and my brother. There's only 15 months between me and my brother, so we're pretty close.
Yeah.
And so watching her do that was just a testament to her strength. And so seeing that, that was what I was so wrapped up on basing, that's what I want my marriage to be like, you know, and going through this and saying, this is how I want my model for my life to be. And my mom was a homemaker. She stayed at home. She raised us.
What did your dad do after getting out of the military?
He worked at various companies. They moved. They finally settled down in Virginia.
Yeah.
After he got out, he was a contractor for the United States government. He ran like security software coding and very smart stuff.
Yeah.
Had a 4-year bachelor's degree in math and engineering. Very smart person. My mom had a degree in interior design. She loves to design spaces and create things.
Make them beautiful.
Yes.
Fun.
So together they were unstoppable, you know. So my dad was making really good money. It was not something that was ever really a big part of my life, ironically. We didn't let that conform our family. Yeah. Which was good. My mom was more the spiritual leader, I would say. She did Bible studies with me and my brother and raised us in the faith, and we said our prayers at night. And
wow.
My dad said he was a Christian, but never really exampled that to me.
Huh. So your mom is doing Bible studies with you.
Yeah.
And like reading, and how old?
She was reading to me when I was in her womb.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then all through, I mean, do you have memories of sitting down reading the Bible with your mom?
I do.
Wow.
Every night we would read a Bible story. It would be like a Christian-based story, like Daniel in the Lion's Den or Jonah or Noah's Ark, you know, and incorporating that into our childhood.
Wow. And then, but your dad didn't exemplify.
He did not, no.
Tell me how. So
he lost his mother at a really young age. He comes from a family where his dad raised him. His mom died of some rare form of spinal cancer. Okay. And so I think that contributed to him kind of derailing later on in his life. I just don't think he knew it. Yeah. He didn't have that maternal being about him. So he was always an awkward kid, as his brother would describe him. He was always kind of the nerd, the outcast, right? And so growing up with him, he was very, not in tune to his emotions.
Mm.
He was very harsh, very serious. He was definitely the punisher in the family.
Mm.
And it was a way where, as his daughter, I didn't feel comfortable going to him, telling him about things, because I felt there was a lack of depth to him with his emotions. So that was hard growing up, because a girl needs her dad, right?
Totally.
And you go through these different things, and instead of being met with, you know, what I wanted to be met with, I was met with, you know, you're the problem, and the problem exists because of you, and you'll get through it, don't worry.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you feel like it was almost like he was physically present but emotionally detached?
Yes.
Got it.
He was a provider. He provided for his family. That's one thing I have to give him credit for.
Yeah.
He did provide for his family, but sports events, he was never there. It was always my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It was never attending youth group. It was never doing these things with us that children have memories of.
Yeah.
So my dad was there, but he wasn't present,
Hmm.
which I think had a big toll. And then being the youngest, you know, even only as one sibling, you know, they invested so much in my brother, who's bipolar and got issues. And so because of that, I felt like I got the very end of what was left.
Sure.
A lot of the time from my parents.
Have you ever wondered how you can make an impact in the military? Have you ever sat back and said, man, I wish I would have served. I wish I could do more for this country. Well, today I want to call you into the fighting force. Guys, Engage Your Destiny is reducing suicide on military bases across the world, and we have 5 locations currently where we are doing direct ministry and follow-up with soldiers, and we have more bases that are opening up to us in New York, in Korea, in Kuwait, in places that I would have never even thought in my life could open up to us. And so that's where I'm making an appeal to you. This is only possible through donors and through the selfless sacrifice of you supporting our ministry on a monthly basis. I want to encourage you that benefactors as well as foundations have made our operational budget possible so that 100% of your gifts go directly towards soldiers in the military all over the world. When you partner with us, you're going to get one of our gift boxes, which is filled with some incredible treats that are going to bless your life, that you can wear, that you can show proudly, and that you can drink your coffee out of. So friends, come and join the fighting force, and let's advance this mission today. And how do you think that, you know, especially coming into your teenage years as a young woman, your dad being emotionally distant, what do you think that was doing in you?
It did something I didn't realize would impact me so much. Because anyone can be a dad, but being a father takes skill, right? And being a father is something that not everybody gets lucky enough to be.
Or to have.
Yeah. And so, you know, everybody growing up, it was so funny because everyone says, well, we love to come over to your house because, you know, you have both parents that are still married and you have, you know, your family that's together and you guys are always happy. And then coming to it and being involved in it, you just see how far that disintegrates and just falls apart, you know? So yeah, it impacted me in a way where it gave me the boss babe mentality, which is propaganda nowadays.
What's the boss babe mentality?
The boss babe mentality is women are great, right? Women can do whatever a man can do. We can put whatever we can to our minds and we can do that, right? We have the career, we have the money, we do everything, but that's, in my opinion, contrary to how God sees a woman, right?
Wow.
And her femininity and her softness and her era of raising a family. And
now, this is coming from Combat Arms Staff Sergeant Anna Weisel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I can do all the man stuff.
Yeah.
Living in the man's world.
Mm-hmm.
This is what God has shown you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm at a point in my life where I've done the hard stuff, and now the hard stuff is not here anymore. It's the soft era. It's the era of healing. It's the era of, okay, I missed out on this for my dad. I stepped into a role where I felt like I had to encompass that, and now I'm living how God sees a woman.
So do you think there's a correlation, you know, because we're always trying to figure out kind of what's happening in our generation, in our world. And you said something really interesting about how all these other kids, they didn't have both parents, but they wanted to come into a home where there were both parents. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because that's what kids want.
Yeah.
They want both parents.
The stability.
The stability.
Because even though my dad wasn't present, he was there.
Yes.
It was a stable, maintained relationship, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
But being emotionally distant,
Mhm.
could your friends sense that? Or is that, so touch me about that.
It was my dad drank a lot.
Ah.
My dad had he had some very deep demons with alcohol.
Hmm.
And I believe there were some other things going on. You
Yeah.
know, that's just what I believe. But
Yeah.
he liked to day trade on the stock market.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of money, probably upwards of $500,000 he lost
Wow.
in the last 10 years.
So it's almost a form of gambling.
Yeah, and he made well over $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And to not be able to have anything to show for that is really humbling, you know?
And that was a lot more money 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you think about this, you know, you have a dad who's very present,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, again, emotionally distant. Would you say that, you know, when you were looking, like, give me an example of a time that you were looking for his tender love and you didn't get it?
When I had my miscarriage
Wow.
at 10 weeks, I had kept it to myself for a
Yeah.
while.
How old were you?
21,
21. Okay.
2021.
Yeah.
I was going through some hard stuff. I had just lost my grandfather. I went through a lot of loss at that time.
Yeah.
And I think losing a baby is something that men can't process the same way women
For sure.
process.
No. We have no idea.
But being in that scenario, like imagining, you know, leaning on your parents and not having that was really hard.
And how was he emotionally distant in that?
I still haven't told him.
Because you couldn't.
He still doesn't know.
Hmm.
I don't know if my mom told him. I don't know if he's heard from other people, but I felt like there would have been so much judgment and disappointment in that
Mm-hmm.
that I felt like I couldn't tell him.
Wow. So emotionally distant pop, and then you joined the Army, not at 17, 18, but 19.
At 19,
What was the
yes.
gap between getting out of high school and then joining the Army?
So I graduated as a junior, so I had a gap year. So I worked, saved up some money, and then I attended veterinarian school.
Oh, cool.
It was my dream to work with animals, I thought.
Yeah.
And so
Until you had to work with them?
yeah. Yeah. And then I went to downtown Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania and attended a vet tech institute and actually failed out of school.
Wow.
Which was a huge thing, right? I didn't pass one of the final exams, and I think like 2 days later I was packing up my room, and my dad was the one who came and got me.
Wow.
Surprisingly enough. Yeah.
What did he say?
He didn't say much. I didn't
Yeah.
say much the whole ride back. And so I come back from college very defeated.
Yes.
Right? And very, okay, now I'm in student loan debt. I was 19, so I took loans out of my name.
Yep.
It's an insane amount of debt. Didn't have a plan. Didn't know what I was going to do.
How much debt are we talking here?
Probably $40,000.
$40,000
For a 2-year,
and you're 19.
18-month school.
And you have nothing to show for it to make money.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now I'm working 2-3 jobs, and I'm working 80 plus hours a week. And
What were you doing for work?
I was working at Tractor Supply.
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of work history, so it was really at the mercy of them. I was
Yep.
working at Sheets at Tractor Supply. I was working at a retired racehorse stable.
Wow.
Animals still remain my passion, so I got the chance to work with dressage horses and racehorses and, you know, just be a stable hand, fix fences, and take care of horses and feed. And it was long hours. They paid me under the table, but they paid well.
And just work.
Just worked.
Yeah.
So from there, I was able to pay off debt, but the straw, I think, was when my dad came to me and said, you have to pay rent if you're going to stay here. And I just remember it being this big thing. You know, everything's a big thing to a 19-year-old.
Totally.
It was a big thing to me because I'm working so hard, right? And I'm paying off these debts, and you have the nerve to come ask me to pay you money?
Yeah.
You know? And it just was very, I just didn't feel like it was a very big spirit of gratitude in how hard I was working.
Did you know he was day trading at the time?
No.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a correlation there.
Yeah, I do too. I never thought about that till now.
Between him needing money
Yeah.
and seeing you as a source for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because we don't want to be entitled,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are hardworking and faithful, then we want to be favored, right?
Mhm.
Like we want to live in God's favor.
Yeah.
And so I find it interesting that, you know, you have parents that let their kids stay at home for free and the kids are doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
but you were working your way out of a situation, which you'd want your dad to father you through and to provide guidance, support. Let me know how I can help you through this situation so that you can go and do this and that.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to charge you rent.
Yeah, and backing up a little bit too, my brother and I were good kids, man, growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't party, we didn't go out, we didn't have wild parties, we didn't attend parties, we didn't do drugs.
Weren't disrespectful.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, we had a good, I mean, we were good kids.
Mm.
We definitely, you know, gave a lot of structure to our family.
Yeah.
And so through that, you know, as a kid, you do that and you're like, I could have been a lot worse. Maybe I should have been a lot worse.
Yeah, right.
But, and then, you know, it stems the question of why is there not that attitude of favor from your parents, being grateful of kids that are following Christ and walking and working and, you know, doing these things to help.
And doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Wow. So he asked for rent. Then what?
I said no. I rebelled.
Yeah.
And so I said, there's got to be something more. So I put out a post for a roommate and got no hits. And I said, okay, well, you take a step back and reanalyze, and went to the Army recruiter and was.
How did that idea even come into your mind to join the Army?
My dad was in the Army.
So it was always kind of there?
So it was always kind of there. And he said, you know, if you do join the military, you need to join the Air Force. It's easier on women and I'd feel more comfortable. And I was like, no, I'm going in the Army and I'm going to be enlisted. He was an officer and I'm going to be in a combat arms job. And so it was like the trifecta.
I'm going to go do all the things you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the things you told me not. So it was almost, joining combat arms and armies was almost rebelling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was able to get all my student loans paid off. I had a quick ship, so I left in 10 days after signing my contract. Passed all the fitness tests. It was what I needed at that moment to kind of restructure my life.
Where'd you go to basic?
Fort Sill,
Home
of field artillery.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I went to basic. My 7th week of basic, I'm a week from graduation. I fall going up the stairs and I shatter my tibia.
No.
I break my leg.
Wow. How'd you fall?
We were getting yelled at and I tripped. I'm clumsy.
Yeah.
And I fall going up the stairs and I broke right here under my kneecap. I have a Y-shaped break in my leg.
Wow.
And so I remember I pushed through. I remember going to bed that night and I was in so much pain I could not go to sleep. I was just crying out to God and I was like, something is wrong. And so I went and got my drill sergeant. My leg was so swollen they had to cut my OCP pants off. I could not get my leg out. And so through that, they could tell something was wrong. And
were the drill sergeants kind about it, or were they mean?
They were mean.
Yeah.
They thought that I was, you know, and it's so funny to me because again, like as somebody that's pouring into you, right? Like, yeah, obviously there's a level of respect there, but I'm almost done. Why would I jeopardize that?
Why would I quit?
Yeah.
So you were towards the end of your cycle.
It was. I think I had just started week 7. And we were graduating the following week.
Yeah, the drill sergeant thing is really interesting. It's very funny because you have young people, many of which are searching for direction. They're searching for identity. You have a lot of young people that are coming from like abusive homes or no dad. And it's almost like these drill sergeants become like a father figure, but they're kind of abusive at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
a toxic cycle that we all seem to want.
Yeah, it is. But then also a lot of these drill sergeants, you know, have had sex with their recruits.
Yeah.
And so these young women are looking. Did you see any of that happen, or
a lot?
Really?
I saw a lot of favor for the females too.
Wow. Tell me about that. Like what? Like give me an example.
So one of the females was caught sneaking out of the bay.
To do what?
To go to the men's side.
Got it.
We were not allowed to go past a certain time. A drill sergeant sat outside our door. It got up to do the round. She had got caught sneaking out with one of her friends. And so it was this whole thing. We had our lockers dumped. We got, you know, just absolutely smoked all day.
What is a smoke session? Explain it to the folks.
It is a very physically demanding, very trying time where drill sergeants use forms of exercises in 110-degree heat in Oklahoma. Yeah. To break you.
Over and over and over.
Over and over.
So like
and
push-ups.
over again. You can only drink water when you're told.
Yep.
You do what you're told to do and you keep doing it.
Yeah. Yep. I remember vividly.
Yeah.
So so she gets caught going over. You guys get smoked. Then what happens?
Nothing really happened to her.
Huh.
Like nothing, it just, that happened and then it was just kind of done.
Mm.
And I was like, why? You
Yeah.
know, I've always wondered that stigma. Like, people say women get treated so differently in the military, and it's true.
Mm.
And I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, why are we not held to the same standard
As a man.
as a man?
Huh.
Yeah.
And did you know about any of the female soldiers actually getting with drill sergeants?
I mean, we had thoughts. I mean,
Yeah.
they call it PNN because it's private news network, right?
Yes.
All the privates are gossiping.
Yes.
If there was like a somewhat attractive drill or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, there would be a lot of gossip going with that. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and it was all so secretive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, in basic training, there's so many opportunities where you can kind of get away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah. So, did you find yourself looking for the love and respect and honor of the drill sergeants?
I did.
Yep.
I did. And I did throughout my entire career in the military. Because I saw it as, I'm in a male-dominant field. I'm in a male-dominant job. Why are they not impressed with what I can do?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there not that favor? Why is there not that respect?
Mm.
Right? So.
And you were searching for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fracture your tibia.
Yeah.
What happens next?
I get held over in basic training.
No.
I get held over for 6 months. I go to rehab to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
You're
stuck at Fort Sill.
Yeah, I was no weight bearing on crutches for 18 weeks. I had to learn to walk completely over again. I went through a rehabilitation course, had to take a PT test and graduate out of that course. And because it was past 6 months, all of my quals expired, so I started basic again from day one.
Wow. So you went through basic training twice.
I was in TRADOC for 10 months.
And TRADOC is training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So started over from day one, had to redo everything all over again.
What was that like?
Humbling.
Yeah.
The drill sergeants were a little bit more lenient because they knew that I had done it. And I was also limited too in what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was humbling because it gave me a way to kind of prove to myself that I can still do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So yeah.
So you graduate, and then where do you go?
Fort Sill for AIT.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Still in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how long was the school for artillery?
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And primarily, what'd you learn?
How to do calculations. We basically fill in for when all of our systems go down. We have to do manual gunnery. So all the calculations of what we're shooting at, how many rounds, the target, all that kind of stuff, we have to manually know how to do.
Wow.
So that's what we learned. Yeah.
And then you go to your first duty station.
Fort Hood, Texas. When it was Fort Hood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before they changed it.
Fort Hood, Texas.
And now, for people who don't know, there have been multiple shootings at Fort Hood.
Yes.
There have been people that have been murdered, beheaded at Fort Hood. Mm-hmm. There's a darkness over Fort Hood.
There is.
Would you agree?
There is. We were actually the sister unit to 3CR where Vanessa Guillen got murdered.
So what happened to Vanessa Guillen?
She was found in pieces in a Pelican box, and the person that had killed her was actually her supervisor.
Wow.
And he ended up killing himself because he couldn't live with it. So that was hard. That rocked Fort Hood. And I remember just the hurt and the heartbreak of just everybody losing her, you know. As specialist, she had so much to live, you know.
Yeah. So you remember seeing her?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you talk to her?
I didn't. I wish I had.
But you remember seeing her?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did they know why he murdered her like that?
There's speculations that maybe there was a relationship going on. Nobody really knows. Never really came out.
And he cut her into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then
she was found with a blunt force trauma wound to her head.
Yeah.
And then dead. And then she was cut up in pieces in Pelican box.
Wow. And did they know, like, in the midst of all of this, how long did it take for them to figure out that he did it?
Probably a couple months.
Yeah. And then how long did it take for him to kill himself?
I mean, they were looking for him.
So they figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then they were looking for him.
I remember they got his girlfriend as a accomplice because they couldn't get him because he was dead. But it makes you wonder what she went through before she was gone, you know.
Huh.
Maybe that's, I hate to say it, but maybe that was her way out of whatever she had been through.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being a part of the Engage Your Destiny family and listening to the podcast. I want to share with you an exciting new development as God has opened the doors for us to launch our program at Fort Carson, Colorado this summer. Fort Carson, Colorado is the home of the 4th Infantry Division and the 10th Special Forces Group. These are some of the most elite warriors in the world. So we are expanding our program and we need your help. Just for $44 a month, you can support a soldier, feeding them, loving on them, getting the material support, giving them the opportunity to go to Engage Your Destiny retreats and events to bring healing into their life and transformation to their faith. So I want to invite you into this, to join the team and to join the fight as we are expanding our program. And we need to remember that those who are willing to die for their country deserve an opportunity to know the God who died for them. So join us in this and let's advance this ministry together. Were there more suicides at Fort Hood?
There were.
Yeah.
I think it was the second highest suicide rate of a base when I was there.
Describe the darkness in the military. I don't think people realize just how dark it can get.
Darkness shows itself in a lot of forms.
Yeah.
And it shows it with the people that are close to you sometimes. And the darkness that you see is isolation, is addiction, is just love being absent. I mean, it's horrible. The barracks, people being addicted to video games, just not getting out. You know, pornography is huge in the military. People are just addicted to it.
Yep.
My soldiers going through things and coming and saying, I cheated on my wife, I don't know what to do. And having to go through that, not only as a female and keeping my feelings out of it, but to remain professional and, you know, not treat them any different despite, you know, my personal feelings on it. So the darkness is just rampant. There's so much dark, it's like when there's light, it's so subdued sometimes. Yeah.
Wow. So going into, you know, your time at Fort Hood, did you experience any type of sexual harassment, assault? Like, when was the first time you felt like you were being treated a certain way as a woman?
So we had deployed to Poland.
Okay.
Our first stop was the Netherlands. We were there for 10 days. I turned 21 in the Netherlands.
Okay.
During Mardi Gras.
Nice. But that was fun.
Fun experience. And then we moved from Netherlands to Germany. So this happened when we were in Germany. I experienced my chief, a section chief, who is essentially a platoon sergeant.
Yep.
Was out in a night where this was during COVID, so everything was locked down, right? We had nothing to do. We just had the gyms. We just had our little fob, and that was it. We had nowhere to go. People were bored. People were looking for trouble to get into.
Yep.
They were out drinking. I had gone to bed in an open bay, so we had sections of bunks, and the females weren't even in a section. They kept us with our section.
So for people who don't know, a bay is just a big room open room with a bunch of beds.
Building. Yeah.
And so they did not keep all the females together.
Mm-mm.
They had you sleeping with a bunch of, in the same section as a bunch of men.
Yeah.
Okay. So around you have a single bunk,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's men sleeping everywhere around you. Yeah.
So we have curtains or tarps that we hang with 550 cord, and we make like little privacy curtains.
Yeah.
So you have 2 lockers that give you a wall, and then you have your bunk. You hang a curtain behind your bunk and then in front to give you privacy.
So you can change.
So imagine like a 4x6 space.
Sure.
If that, with a bed and, you know, a little walkway.
But you're still sleeping right in the same open area as other men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're walking through the bay, coming back from the shower, you just feel eyes on you. You feel like you're a lion walking through a pack of hyenas. That's the only way I can describe it.
Or like a gazelle.
Yeah.
Through a pack of hyenas.
You just feel like there's eyes on you, watching you. Yeah.
And these guys are away from a lot of them away from their wives.
Mm-hmm.
But also, are they able to go out into the town and do anything with women?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not supposed to, but they do.
But they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my personal experience was I had stayed in. I did not feel comfortable going out with a group of men if they were drinking and, out at night late by myself.
In a foreign country.
Exactly, right. So I stayed back. I was watching a movie, doing homework, and it was late. The lights were off in the bay to not wake out everybody else up. So I come in, and my section chief had thought that I was at his bunk, and he thought that his bunk was mine, and I was laying down. And he came in, and he claimed he was drunk. I don't know how drunk he actually was. He laid down on top of me, and things proceeded against my will. And I essentially just had to fight for my life to get out of that situation because I couldn't make noise. There was no lights on. I was in a situation where I felt very vulnerable and taken advantage of and exposed, and this was somebody I was supposed to trust. How do you go to war with people? Are you expected to go to war with people when they're assaulting you?
So you're laying there.
Mm-hmm.
Were you asleep?
I was.
So you're fast asleep, and then all of a sudden, how big is this guy?
Felt bigger than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tall, but I'm tiny,
Yeah.
I mean, any man that wants to be forcible with you is going to be,
Yep. And you're sleeping, and you wake up, and he starts saying, "Hey, this is my bunk," and he just lays on you. But he's not trying to go to sleep.
No, he's
trying to have sex with you.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. How far did he get before you could fight him off?
Pretty far.
Yeah.
To the point where I would consider it rape. Some people would consider it sexual assault, but either way, you're taken advantage of in a sexual manner.
Yeah. How did you get out of that situation?
Somebody flipped the lights on.
No way.
Because
something was going on.
Somebody came in or heard, flipped the lights on, and startled him. And I wish that I could know who that person was so I could thank them for saving my life.
What did you do after that? Did you run to the shower, to the bathroom?
I laid there for a second. It was like, I can't believe this just happened. Like, you hear of these stories happening, but you never think something's going to happen to you until it does.
What was the feeling you had in that exact moment?
I felt dirty.
Dirty.
I felt used. I felt like I wasn't respected, and not just in the military, but just as a woman, to think that somebody can just do these things to you and nobody knows or nobody cares. It changed the way I looked at men for a really long time. And the next morning, to get up and to be at formation and be around this person, and they know what they did and you know what they did, but nobody else knows. That was hard.
Man, what an incredible story from Anna, and we are right in the middle of how God is working in her life. I want to encourage you guys to tune in next week as we'll have part 2 of Anna's story, the redemption and what God did to transform her life. It really is impossible. I want to encourage you to go and support this great work at engageyourdestiny.org, and let's advance this kingdom together. God bless you guys. Thanks so much.